Hello everyone, welcome to the Cosmos Chat again. I'm your host Viraj Bhardwaj along with the co-host Siddharth Sharma, and today with us is Tarun Bandemegala, and I want him to introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. On the Cosmos chat, I'm Tarun, and I am a student at the University of North Dakota. And at the university here, I am a graduate research assistant that works at the Human Spaceflight Laboratory. And we work anything about life support systems, ranging from designing and building spacesuits all the way to designing and building space habitats. My personal interest lies in the space habitats. And as for the organizations, I am a part of the Students for the Exploration and Development of Space, SEDS, the USA part of it. Uh, in case you haven't heard, SEDS is available in any country on the planet. And if you don't have SEDS at your country yet, talk to me. I'm the international chapter expansion manager for SEDS, and I can help you get started. And I'm also part of SpaceKind. And this is essentially a program being led by Loretta Whitesides. And this is so that you can train yourself to become a better human, move on from being the mankind to spacekind, and yeah, move up to space. And I'm a part of like some great many other things too.
That's a really great introduction. And I want to say today we are going to talk about human spaceflight. And as you all know, human spaceflight is one of the best fields in the whole astronomy. It's one thing that is making, that is proving our dreams that the things we didn't expected from us decades ago, we are doing it now. Going
Mhm.
into space and all. These are one of the awesome things. And these things excites all of us, every space lover, every science lover. And today we are going to talk about it. So first of all, I want to ask Tarun, like how you got your interest in human space flight and what are your thinking about it?
um I think I got interested in the aerospace aspect of it since I was 3. So it just started. I'm not entirely sure exactly how, but I've been interested in the aerospace ever since I started remembering stuff. And a big part of it, I think, came from my love for speed and heights. And that essentially wanted me to become a pilot. And I was wanting to be a pilot when I learned about someone called an astronaut that flies to space at significantly higher speeds and is farther up from anyone else on the planet. And I got to know about the Apollo 11 mission to the moon by Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Mike Collins. And that just got me so hooked up with space that I wanted to be a part of that aerospace ecosystem.
That's the case with all of us. We can't remember like how we got it, how we got interest into it, but yes, we all can remember the sort of things. And in my case, I just I you can say me 6 or 7. Like I was
Mhm.
really, I got to know about Apollo 11 mission, as like people are going to moons and all. And this always fascinates me from a very long time, and I got into it. And as of now I am working like just to feed my curiosity, you can say. Just for now I'm feeding my curiosity and doing betterment for humanity, you can say. By because these are the things that will result in a very good result, because this will give us a great result in the future. So this was the thing. What about you, Siddharth?
Same like, but the fans that are from Marvel. So yeah, I was really interested into the science fiction movies, how they're having UFOs and spacecrafts having really hyperdrive and warp drives and really going to speed in such a way. By so yeah, I was really interested into that science fiction movies. And currently, right now, I am doing the same thing, watching them realizing them, okay, what can we can connect to the real life and applications of it. So yeah, I really love to make a bridge between what is shown in the science fiction movies and what we can make a build with our either an infrastructure or a thesis or a paper regarding. So yeah, I got inspiration and really love from the space regarding that, from the science fiction movies regarding. So yeah.
That was great. And as we all know, let's get back to the topic, human space flight. We all know it's quite challenging because we have many concerns, we have many dangers when we are going into space. Like we humans, because we humans are, you can say, somewhat delicate, because we there are many concerns and many dangers that can harm us when going into space. And but our scientists are really intelligent, really working hard to achieve all the things that can, help and that can reduce or even end the dangers. And let's talk about it. What, Tarun, can you tell us about the dangers of human spaceflight?
Yeah. So NASA has identified 5 main dangers of human spaceflight, and these are not in the exact order that NASA intended them to be, but the 5 main concerns would be in the order of firstly, you're going to be off gravity, which is on Earth, you have nice 1G, and that is essentially how the human body developed, because your body acclimated and adapted to suit the gravity of this planet. So how strong your bones are, how the blood flows in your body, and how much strength should each muscle strand in your body is, it's all dependent on the gravitational impact that our planet has on us. Now, moving to space, which has microgravity, your body has gonna have to adapt to it. And different systems of your body have different times of adaptation. And for some of the things, you have absolutely no way of knowing where that limit is. We can talk about that just in a little bit. And the second danger is that of the radiation. And I'm not just talking about the solar radiation, I'm talking about something that is far more dangerous than just the solar radiation. It usually comes in the form of galactic background radiation. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about it, but it is something that got left over. It is the energy and the radiation that got left over all the way from back from Big Bang. This is exactly what we used to develop a model to see how the entire universe looks like. So it gets really interesting how this has impact. The reason this is far more dangerous is because it's continuous. The problem with the solar radiation is that it's really harmful when there's a coronal mass eruption, which is, like, as you may have heard, it's fairly common on the sun, but if it's in our direction, it's not really healthy for any one of us. So radiation is one of the biggest problems. The third would be, again, your muscular system, your body itself. Different parts of your body react in a different way, as we just talked about. You need exercise, and not everyone can exercise the same amount. And the astronauts have to train currently on the International Space Station for 2 hours every single day, just so they can keep up the muscle strength. Now, imagine you're on an 8-month mission all the way to Mars, and because you haven't exercised in any way, you lose the muscle strength. And when you go into the third of a gravity, you can't even stand on Mars, let alone perform any kind of experiments. So that is really bad, because your muscles, again, lead to your cardiovascular system, which is your heart has to pump enough blood to each part of your body. And while in space, you have blood moving from equal amount of blood moving from the tip of your toe all the way to the top of your head. And that essentially gives you very chubby face and equally distributed blood. So your heart is working far lesser than what it is used to. So that is again a problem, because that's not how the human body is used to doing things. So yeah, there's quite a few more problems, which I think you can find easily on nasa.gov.
That's right. And you talked about it. And I think one of the most, major concern is space radiation. And we talked about it with Guadalupe. And he quite like like make us understand. He explained us everything really greatly. And as you
Mhm.
know, like just like many people, especially in India, wanted to know how to get into this field. Like what are the various careers in the whole you can say branch of astronomy, and what are the needed skills to go. And yes, if you are selected for any you can say astronaut training program, so what are the things like like people for going into space are trained, like what are the things like mentally or physically or something which are a training given to people like who go into space. So just wanted to know about it.
It's a really good question. Thank you for asking, Viraj. Um, Getting into human spaceflight is not something that is talked about quite often, and that I think should change. Uh, I come from India, and when I started getting into the field, the only way of getting into the field was astronomy. And while astronomy is a field that is far from my interest, it's a hobby of mine. I wouldn't Personal interest is that I wouldn't want that as something that I want to work in for the rest of my life. But a lot of people do want to work in the field of astronomy and astrobiology and astrophysics, and something related with the universe itself, answering the questions, the secrets of the universe. And because that was the only means, I had to do a trial and error to find out exactly where I would find the true interest and my true passions. And there's quite a few ways currently that you can find out exactly what's going on. If it's a college student that is looking for it, the Students for the Exploration and Development of Space SEDS has the India chapter. So SEDS India is located in, I think it's headquartered in the Vellore Institute of Technology, but it has chapters all across the nation. So if you're a college student, get involved with SEDS. One other really good resource that you guys can have is the Space Generation Advisory Council, SGAC. And SGAC is located in India, and it is a global thing, which again, SGAC is a not-for-profit that is headquartered in Denmark and directly works like the United Nations does. Um, and getting into SGAC can provide you opportunities not just within the nation, but it can give you a global connectivity. And for the younger students that would like to get into it, I'm not entirely sure what is available, but as I can see from you guys' interest, Viraj and Siddharth, that you guys are going above and beyond. So keep up the good work. And yeah, that's the reason why I chose to come and talk to you guys in the first place, because I saw that you guys are really passionate about the field, and I just wanted to be someone that can give you the information that you guys are asking about. And yeah, so while I'm not sure about younger people, uh, if you're past grade 10, I think SGAC and SEDS are really good ways of you getting into the space industry.
And what are the training and what are the skills needed for it? Because an astronaut is something that needs to be physically fit. So what are the
Mhm.
training which is given to a person who is going to say now, or who is being trained for to go into space, like some mental ones or some physical ones? What are the things? And
Yeah. Again, good question. So you previously asked some of the dangers of human space flight, and one of the things that I mixed up with, etc., was the isolation and confinement, and and just essentially closed spaces, surviving in closed spaces. So as we discussed in that, uh, this person, let's split this answer into two different parts. The first one is the mental aspect of it, and the second one is the physical aspect of the human. So for the mental aspect, you need to be stable enough in stressful situations, in any kind of situation, so that you're not causing harm to yourself and endangering the lives of crew, because isolation and confinement is a real problem, as we've seen just a couple years ago, exactly a couple years ago, if you may, back in 2020, everyone was locked down inside their homes because of the pandemic going on. And we saw so many parts of the globe erupted in violence because nobody wanted to stay in their own confined space. They just couldn't take that pressure, and that automatically disqualified significant number of humans from being qualified to go and be an astronaut on the human spaceflight experiments. So it plays a significant role, the mental aspect of it. To train, I'm not sure what you can do to train mentally. One thing I can say is that what you could do is do well in your studies, and try and read out about the different aspects that might impact you in a certain way. And training will help you in any kind of situation, be it physically or mentally. So if you find a problem that you think might cause a bit of an issue when it comes to human spaceflight, you can train yourself out of it. So that I would suggest. For the physicality of it, exercise. You need to be physically fit because the spacesuits weigh a ton. They are really heavy, and the range of motion that you have in spacesuits is really limited. So when you have to move your arm this way, you just can't do it because there's an entire shoulder bar that's holding your shoulder in place. If you do this often, there is a high risk of you injuring your shoulder for entire life. Like, you can't use this arm uh, in a good way after that. And one of the astronauts had this problem where one of the experiments that he had to do was inside of a glove box. And this glove box had total vacuum on the other end. And this astronaut, was performing these experiments for far too long every single day, that right now he's permanently dislocated his shoulder, and it is really dangerous. And this is an astronaut that works out every single day and has trained muscle groups. Now imagine how that would impact a person that has no physical training. So again, training, training, training. That's how you overcome these difficulties. And be physically fit, be mentally active. To do that, I would recommend meditate for a few minutes every single day, and try and focus, keep your attention span to a certain thing, and obviously a specialization in the field of your choice.
You explained it really well. And from these things, we can feel that going to space is not a kid's play, because we have to do some any training. You can say training, physically and mentally. We have to be fit
Mhm.
for these things. And I'm sure, like, we people have passion, and we will surely do it. And
Mhm.
yes, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. And now let's talk about your journey into human space life. like your projects, what are you currently doing, and all these things.
Right now, well, my journey into spaceflight, human spaceflight, started, like I said, way back when I barely even remember. And I initially started out joining the Planetary Society of India. And yeah, like I said, like there was only the astronomy ways of doing things. While I did know that ISRO is the spaceflight counterpart that I had to get information from. ISRO, unfortunately, is very closed, and not a lot of information is made public, other than anything after the entire test is done. Um, I think it's because ISRO is not funded as much as it should for participating in STEM related activities, but that's all changing in the past decade, as I've seen. ISRO is actively trying to get interns to work with them. ISRO is actively trying to promote STEM-based activities among youngsters. And there's a lot of space camps that are coming up in India. So, and ISRO is helping all of these things out too. So it's doing all it can with its current newfound status as one of the global superpowers when it comes to space. So uh, while that is the case for ISRO, I started out with the Planetary Society of India, and I moved to the United States after that. So I've been pursuing anything related to human spaceflight, and well, initially I was working on rocketry, and as a non-citizen in the United States, working on anything that is remotely considered as missile, because missiles are essentially rockets. Uh, it's not allowed for me to work on them on a regular basis. So I chose something that I wanted to do even when I was working on rockets. That is the human spaceflight aspect of it, and improving the life support systems. So I'm glad with how my journey brought me here, and with how it's going. And yeah, so I'm not sure how much more detail you want on that.
No, it was good. And yes, as you told, working in NASA is really hard for a non-citizen. As you said, there are some privacy concerns. There are something that NASA thinks that people like non-citizens who are not a citizen of US should not get many information. As you think. So now let's talk about the future of space flight. Spaceflight is something that future is gonna be do. If we human manage to not if we will not get extinct in the future because of our things which we are doing now, like in the global warming and all these things that can destroy ourselves, I must say the whole future will be like completely changed from now, because as you can see in this field too, like decades ago there was nothing, like people were just figuring out like what is there in the space, and like they some of them was just dreaming that we can go, like if we can go, like how the beautiful, like how the space looks and all the things. But yes, then we like worked on it, then scientists work on it just for their passion, and
Mhm,
Yuri Gagarin gone into space, and from there we started our human journey in space, and from then
mhm,
the whole field is completely changed. We have progressed a lot, and now you can see like how we like you can take an example of NASA, like JWST and Perseverance rover was something that that was a dream for us in the past, decades ago, but it's not now, because we have achieved this, and we all people, like every organization in the whole world who are working like in this field, in the where you can say astronautics or astronomy or astrophysics, like anything, like we are working really like we are hard working all the things, and there's all these things shows that we have passion, and we are really committed to our work, and not only in this astronomy field, in every field, like no matter it's biology or no matter it's something else, we are we are completely changed from past, and hope that we will continue the same progress in future. And like just imagining how the future of human spaceflight will look like, it's quite amazing to just talk about it, just think about it. What are your views? Like, what do you think, like how the future like how this field, like the home human spaceflight will look like? Will we have some new technologies of going into space? Will the we can say intergalactic travel be possible in the future, and all these things? Like, what are you thinking about it? What is your
Thanks
imagination?
again, Viraj. And well, thinking about the history of the field and how it started, uh, probably you can trace it back all the way to 1600s when Leonardo da Vinci drew the helicopter on an ideation of helicopter in his drawings, all the way to 1903 when the Wright brothers first made a successful flight. Even though it was for 12 seconds, it was first ever successful powered flight. And just within 30 or so years, we made significant progress in that area, and that the first rocket came into the picture. And within that same time of building the first powered airplane to first rocket, it took about the same time to go from the first rocket to launching of the first human into space. So the progress was being made quite significantly, but again, technology is a double-edged sword. You get cut on one end, you also get cut on the other end too. So this came at a cost of a great deal of destruction in the form of different world wars, and quite a lot of pain to a lot of people. And as for the future, I think that's exactly what is going to happen, because of how space is being viewed at this point of time, as well as in the past. A lot of people say that the space flight is doing very little to help the humanity here on Earth, and that more resources need to be redirected to feeding the hungry and providing different tools to the people here on Earth, rather than spending the money in the space sector. But the one thing that a lot of people usually forget is that most of the space technology is why we have technological advancements for the people here on Earth, so much that a lot of people's lives are saved because of the satellites that provide the weather data. And like, disaster management has become so easy right now, so much that the human loss is lowered down to single digits. And not just that, it's also giving us the agriculture data to say that, hey, this land is more suited for a different kind of vegetation, so probably try that. And if the soil is even losing its nutrients, you can gather that data from space, believe it or not. And all this data is being transferred to the farmers here down on Earth, which is again directly helping the people. And it's not just this, the internet through which you and I are speaking right now is also a big part, thanks to the internet. And yeah, if you think about the future of that technology, you need to acknowledge what we have right now. And what we have right now is a great deal of technology that we aren't using the right way. And the future of this technology will depend on how well we use the tech in the current day and age. And you're talking about intergalactic travel. And I think it is possible, because a lot of different scientists all over the planet are trying for different ways of propulsion to get there. And they're working with different structures to build the materials with, and a lot of different companies, private agencies are also trying to build things out in space, like 3D print an entire space station is what they're planning on doing out in space. So imagine Starship Enterprise being built out in the space. So that's exactly what we have the dreams for. But dreams have to again be started at step one, and the step one has already been taken. Now it depends on the humans that are working on it to to put all their efforts into that dreams, into making that dreams a reality.
Your view is quite amazing. As you said, if we will use our technologies properly, and it depends on us, because
Mhm.
how we are using it and how like we will use it, right? So this all depends on us, and I must say, if we are using it everything carefully, that this technology thing, we will really succeed, and nothing is impossible for us if we continue
Mhm.
this pattern. And if we if we are careful,
Mhm.
by doing anything, by doing something or anything. So if we are careful about it, and if we are using it right, if we are using it the right way, then it's not gonna harm us. It really get benefit, like it will benefit us, right? As you said,
Mhm.
there are technologies, space technology, which are helping us in the agriculture sector
Excuse me.
and the weather management sector, disaster management sector. So these are the things we have to, like, from this we can assume, we can note down that if we are using technologies properly, then it will be a good, then it will be good for us. Or if not, then it will cause, like, then it will cause harm to us. What are
Mhm.
your thinking about this, Siddharth? Because you are the person who, like, keeps future every, like, in every work, you keep future at a side, just for the, and you are doing great work, like, the for the betterment of humanity. So what are you thinking about it? Like, what will be the future of human spaceflight, or we can say just humans?
So to be honest, we don't know. We are just Homo sapiens who really can't predict the future or can't say anything about it. We just do one thing. We can take our actions at present in the right direction, either towards the betterment of humanity or either the destruction, right? There are something that is going on in world, and let's say examples of the Afghanistan and all kind of terrorism. It's all upon us what kind of actions we are taking, that the thing is going to create the whole part towards either a betterment or a destroyment. So yeah, I'm the one who having a lot of questions, even on just a single topic. Okay, and today I was just listening Tarun, because today, to be honest, I can see myself in the form of Tarun talking and delivering or whatever kind of knowledge I had. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, from the believer of, or from the group of science fiction lovers, I would just say, or not kind of predict, but yeah, my goal also is to make an UFO kind of thing. We in such frictions say, frictions we are saying like, okay, aliens came to earth, and okay, in the UFOs and kind of named vehicles. So if somehow, if we discover life in any other another planet other than earth, let's say Mars, right? So definitely for them we are aliens, so why aren't we using such kind of technologies? Yeah, just Tarun said, there are a lot of companies, private sector agencies working on different infrastructures, and some of even are working on the power source even more much greener and cleaner than uranium and nuclear power energies. So yeah, being from that and having that mindset in myself itself, like, okay, I was the one who always talk about UFOs and why we aren't using UFOs and having less aerodynamic pressures and lesser chances of being exposed to solar radiation. So yeah, just Tarun said. So I just had one question regarding the space radiation, that we talked to Mr. Espinosa Guadalupe regarding space radiation. So he mentioned a thing about muscular, neuromuscular dystrophy kind of thing, abnormalities when exposed to the space radiation. So as of new, you after being exposed to that like nuclear radiations. So after coming back to Earth, what kind of procedures a person, a astronaut has to follow to have a lesser impact of that space radiation? So like we would love to know about the procedures a person has to pass after coming from space to Earth. So yeah.
Good question, Siddharth. Um, as of now, there's only some of these iodine pills which have been used from way back when. That is a good source of preventing your body from breaking down due to radiation, but there's no way of saying and predicting how to reverse the impact of space radiation at this point of time that I'm aware of. So uh, keep that search going. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find something. And as of now, if you're exposed to space radiation, your body is essentially breaking down at a cellular level. And that's a very quantum mechanics problem at that point. And I'm not an expert in that field. So I would just defer this answer to someone that is an expert in that area. And yeah, so as of now, you can only slow the process rather than reverse it. So in case any of our astronauts, God forbid, is exposed to space radiation or any kind of impact while on a long-term mission in a micro G environment, they don't have much chances of surviving for significantly longer because their body is going to start deteriorating, starting from losing hair to muscle atrophy and the disintegration of just the essential cellular structure. And I think it's gonna just lead to their death within months, if not years, if properly being treated.
Okay, so yeah, thanks a lot for your insightful talk. I get to know, yeah, because I was thinking about making a special chamber regarding that, how our space flights, when we are using human space flights, wearing space suits. So just like embedding such systems or a chamber into that, either making full of concrete or anything like that, that can not only block that radiation, but we can prevent radiation from having contact to the astronaut. So yeah, I was, after talking to him, Mr. Espinosa Guadalupe, so I got into that research, like, can we create kind of a container chamber for astronaut to have a safe journey throughout whole process? So yeah, I was thinking that, is it possible to cut out the whole radiation by radiation itself? Like there is a thing, if you have to cut out anything, like if you have to cut out the effect of venom, ultimately you have to use chemical that having some characteristics just like venom, that we know as anti-venom kind of things. So I was into like, can we prevent space radiation by creating, just like how in earth, on earth we use like either to chemotherapy or kind of things to cut out the radiation, or just, but yeah, I get to know this, you say it there are less chances as of now developing oncogenic cells and being cancer and all kind of neural disorders. So yeah, oh, I hope I can get on some conclusion and can help towards the betterment of humanity regarding space flight. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Of course. Thank you.
And I must say, like, this was one of the best meet I ever had. And one thing I want to point out about you, Tarun, like when you were explaining all these things, you had a smile on your face, and that was the thing that was keeping us, like enjoying the meet, because your way of explaining, like when I talked about, like when I asked about you about the future of human space flight, like first of all, you gone to the past, you took some examples from there, then you gone to the technological part, then that how technology is currently helping us, then you gone to the future part. And that was the thing I really liked, that because if like I like people usually like don't think, when they talk about future, they don't mention about the past and the the current the present or the past of the technology. But you mentioned that, and that was really great, I must say. And you you gave us a great idea of how to get into this field, what are the dangers of it, and what are you currently doing in this field, and also the future of human spaceflight. And also Siddharth put a great question in the last, which I forgot to put, and it was really great. Thank you, Siddharth. And that was the thing, and we really enjoyed, and I hope you also enjoyed to have a meet with us. And I also hope that our viewers who are watching, I think, like, no, who will watch us on YouTube or Spotify or something, or on any other platform, also enjoyed this, because this was the meet that was quite general. But yes, we talk, we put that questions that is not much taken, like the one more, well, you can say one of the most important question we took was that how to go into this field, like what are the skills needed, and what are the trainings which, what are the training which is given to an person for their astronaut training program. So this was the thing, I really enjoyed this, and I hope you all also.
Yes. Firstly, the reason, like I said, I enjoy being here is because I'm here to help anyone that I see as interested in the human spaceflight and in the field that I'm so passionate about. And just seeing you guys just reach out to me and uh, wanting to know more about the field itself made me happy. So that's essentially why I'm here. So thank you guys for doing everything that you're doing, and wish you the best to continue doing this same thing in the future.
Thanks a lot, Tarun. Yeah, definitely. Uh, so definitely we will try to stand out on your trust, and yep, we'll try to keep that trust, and more for the betterment of humanity. We'll keep making this kind of things, sessions that not only enlighten us but also all the viewers and the audience that will see on different platforms. So yeah, thanks a lot for accepting our invite, and thanks a lot for being so much patient and explaining us the thing in such a great and beautiful manner. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, and thank you too.
So now it's time to end that meet, and it was really fun to talk with you. I'm really thankful to you to come on this podcast to give some knowledge to enlighten us and all our viewers. Really, thank you so much.
Thank you, Raj.